in the lead here at Villa Park, and they celebrate in front of those Stevens.
Well, there we go. I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Boropod. Feels like it's been a fucking age. For me, it has. It's been a while. I'm back. I'm Nate. I'm still not recovered. I still have a chest infection. So I'm going to keep talking to a minimum today and let the other two do it. But I'm here. Let's go. Hi, Pat.
Hello. How are you? You just said, I don't know why I asked.
Chest infection. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Much better for Harvey White having learned how tall a goal is.
It helps. It definitely helps. Pat, you have like a particular sheen on your webcam. It also is very pixelated right a second. But there's like a sheen that makes you look like you're from a 1970s softcore porn film. It's very bizarre.
Nice.
Hi, Nick.
Hello. I actually haven't been on for about 4 weeks with pretty much the same thing as you. So I still have a little bit of a cough there, but I don't think I'm as bad as you still are. But it feels weird to be back on. I definitely was out of routine getting ready for this.
I was so out of routine
we had a game
getting
today.
ready.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I was so out of out of practice getting ready for this that I was on the toilet when we were supposed to be going live. Anyway, right. It's been Easter weekend, so naturally that means there's been football at 3 p.m. on both Friday and Monday. It's a little bit weird. We should talk about the Rotherham game in passing, but honestly, it was so dreadful. Nothing really happened. The only thing that really happened was that the ref may have been the most inexplicably weirdly awful ref I may have ever had the displeasure of watching.
It was an incredibly old officials lineup, wasn't it? I noticed that at the start of the game, and I was like, hang on a minute. Definitely of the, considering the last few games at home at least, I felt like we've had some incredibly young linesmen and officials. I feel like they'd dragged the older ones out of the cupboard for that game.
Steve and Dean are normally very fair to referees. Steve was getting genuinely angry in the second half at the refereeing performance and how it was just stopping the game being a game.
I would say Steve is more often fairer to referees, and I know Dean. I'm not sure about Steve. I think sometimes he listens, sometimes not. I know for a fact though that Dean listens, and I would like to say that I would like to have it on record that I think he talks shit about referees very quickly and not always fairly, although his list is pretty accurate. The ones that mean trouble.
Trevor Kettle.
Yeah, like your Trevor Kettles, your Darren Drysdales, your it was that big lump who
Brett Huxtable.
Brett Huxtable, there you go. That's all you need. The big lump. Yeah. He was a twat. I think we've only had him once. I can only remember having him once. That was enough. Anyway, Rotherham.
It was a game away from home.
Yeah, it's a point on the raid. Regardless of
Out
performance.
of context, you would take a point at Rotherham where you were the better side and the side closer to getting all 3 points, which I think we were on balance.
I think
I only listened to the last half an hour getting in from a beer festival, but that's what it felt like.
You definitely did the right thing going to the beer festival and not going to or just listening or watching Rotherham. The beer festival was a better idea. Solid. I think it's unfair to Rotherham to say that either side were a side that should have won that game.
I was surprised, given that they're in the relegation zone, by how little they attacked the game in the second half. Because, you're desperate for points. You're playing a home
First
game
half as well.
with 5 left, and you've had one shot on target the entire 90 minutes. You've got to do more than that at home if you're trying to save the season, surely.
Yeah, it was pathetic from them. It was definitely pathetic is I think the appropriate word as well. There was no fight. At least Port Vale, yes, they are rubbish, but at least they're they look like they want to try and survive. Finally, it's the first time all season that they've done it, and since in the last couple of months, where they've sort of thrown a few wins in with all the losses and draws.
I think
Rotherham looks pathetic.
Rotherham are just in a weird position, really, aren't they? Because Lee Clark's come in. Last job in England was
I don't love it.
It screams of cheap option. See if he's got the form of his better days. So his first game in charge was away to Lincoln. So probably the hardest test that he could have started with was an away game to Lincoln. So first home game, I think, to be honest, he was probably just happy to go out of there with something, which might explain why the approach was very much a take a point as opposed to try and push on and see if they can grab 3. And they probably look to build off of that. I mean, I don't know how they got on today. But that was the impression I got from the game. In fact, they even played today.
Hey, Rotherham.
Yeah.
Everyone plays today.
Did they?
Yes.
Why can't I see them?
They didn't play today. They're playing tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
They've got Port Vale away tomorrow. So
Rotherham Port Vale is your
yeah.
prime time fixture. That's horrendous.
Yeah. But when you see that as well, you think get a point at home to take into an away game at Port Vale where you need to win that game to really have any chance of staying up. But it was a game where we played how we play on the road, and they played as a team just happy to take anything from the game that wasn't 0 points.
They concentrated all of their fight into Gore elbowing a dude in the face and someone getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite impressive that the referee missed that. Because it's as clear as day. He fucking swings his arm and catches good right across the throat, doesn't he? Is it good? Whoever it was.
I think Thompson I heard on the highlights, but whatever.
You might be right.
It was good who went up to him when he did finally get sent off for pulling Reedy back and stopping the counter-attack, which was a stonewall second yellow, which he obviously complained about.
Good for the second half.
In his face.
Good in the second half was every time the camera was on him, he was gassing at a Rotherham player, winding them up. And
he's very good at it.
You've got to say it works.
He's very good at it. I can think of multiple games where he's clearly got into someone's ear and it's worked, and so he's just kept going at it to see how far he can take it.
My favourite thing was the fact that when they react, he just laughs in their face.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's so petty, and it's my level of petty. Anyway, 0-0. Fuck Rotherham as a place, as a club, as a sphere. Fuck them. They're gone. Maybe they've decided to be a League 2, League 1 yo-yo club instead of a League 1 Championship yo-yo club.
Well, they're going down with the perfect team to do that with in Northampton. So,
and Port Vale are that at the moment, aren't they?
Vale, yeah, to be fair.
And then
yeah, it looks tough for them, doesn't it? They're 11 points adrift now. They've got 3 games in hand. Well, they don't win in any game, so that's not going to matter.
Yeah. You'd rather have their points on the board, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see if I can get through this bit without coughing. Stevenage 1, Blackpool 0. Stevenage arose from the tomb today. Sorry, I almost said it's a Christmas joke. That's the wrong religious celebration. The lineup: 2 changes from Rotherham. Kemp came in for Thompson, I think, and Patterson came in for the injured Luther. Don't know how bad Luther's injury is, but normally when he's out for a couple of weeks, isn't he, at least? So hopefully that's not too long. Although Paddington, best game in a Stevenage shirt today, I think. Even if Pat was furious that he wouldn't cross the fucking ball.
It was only once, but it was gratuitous.
Yeah.
We'll get on to that.
Yeah. Marshall, Good, Pidge, Freestone, Pattenden, Phillips, Wright, Roberts, Kemp, Phillips, and Reed. There you go. Bosh. We heavily dominated the game. 59% possession. Have you ever seen Stevenage have that close to 60%? I don't think I have. Pre-season finished.
Blackpool were incredibly direct, but didn't win many headers because our back three are really good when you're really direct at them. Like, they struggle if you challenge for pace down the sides, but if you're just thumping it long and trying to pick up the scraps, you ain't picking up many scraps.
I thought the first probably half an hour they had a handful of chances because we were playing quite a high line where some of their directness caused us a couple of troubling moments where we were a bit awkward with the header back to Marshall, or we got the ball down and didn't quite have an out ball out wide because our wing backs had pushed so high. But especially in the second half, you noticed us really drop that line back, and anything they put forward was just going straight back, and we felt much more comfortable once we dropped that line by a couple of yards. But even with those chances that went in behind, we dealt with them, but it just felt a little bit uncomfortable.
They played 238 passes and 80 of them were long, considered long. That's quite a it's approaching. It's probably 40, roughly 40, almost 40%, isn't it? So,
how many of them were Bailey Peacock Farrell as well? Because it felt like it was a give it back to Peacock Farrell and then.
Hold on. I can tell you.
Wow, advanced metrics.
Maybe I can't tell you. I can tell you that he played 38 passes.
Which majority of them were long, I would say.
Yeah, which is more than James Husband, Fraser Horsfall. Is it Fraser?
He played 32 long balls. 5 of them were accurate, i.e., they went to a Blackpool player on first contact.
Honeyman only played 18 passes.
Yeah.
Although then again, Phillips for us, Matt not, Dan only played 9.
Yeah.
What's funny is they were doing a lot of direct long ball stuff, but they were having a centre back tap the goal kicks directly across the 6-yard box to the goalkeeper to hoof long. It's like,
then go long. Yeah.
I don't understand what you're doing there, other than playing everyone on side if you lose the next header.
It's what managers who think Pep Guardiola is the answer to the question: how do you complete football?
I think the idea,
if you're 20th in League One, he's not your role model.
Yeah, I think the idea is to get a better angle for the long ball, but even still, it's like
you can take you can take the goal kick from anywhere on the 6-yard box.
I do find it odd, but
that
was their game plan, wasn't it?
The idea is not it's not about playing a long ball at all. It's you pass it to the goalkeeper, and then you've got usually that means either side of you've got 2 very short options. The idea is that obviously teams are going to press. Means you can usually play that through the middle into a midfielder, which opens up space in midfield, who then can go to wing backs or go back to a centre back who then moves. It's the idea of creating space in the middle of the park to be able to play football. The problem is when you do it in League One, you play it to your defender, he goes, the defender plays to the goalkeeper, goes, I don't fucking want it, and umps it. Honestly, it's fucking. It is embarrassing to be playing that sort of football at League One, at the bottom of League One, when you're a shit football team. And I think I like Ian Evatt as a manager.
Oh, I don't.
And I like some of Blackpool's players, but as a unit, they are fucking awful.
Let's not forget, I think a lot of us put Blackpool very high in the predictions at the start of the season because of some of the business they did in the summer that looked like they were going to do something. And then Bruce had an awful start. And Evatt has never been
the Steves, because there were like 12 Steves on the.
I've never really known Evatt as a manager that's going to get you out of the shit. I mean, at Bolton, it felt like their fans thought everything was constantly shit, and they never got out of the shit. To him going in at Blackpool, he has a bit of a connection to them, but I never felt that was going to get them out of the trouble they were in, and evidently, that's exactly what has transpired. I mean, they tried a different system today. It looked like judging by some of their fans on Twitter, he changed to a 4-4-2 and played this direct football, and it just felt weird when you've got someone like George Honeyman in midfield, where the first game of the season when we played at their place, and it was very much the reason we won that game was apparently because we kicked Honeyman out of it. He was non-existent today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their fans were singing Evert's name, so they're obviously still engaged with him. But he spent 45 of the first 60 minutes in the fourth official's ear hole, and then someone on the Stevenage bench got booked for, I've no idea, just out of nowhere. It was not a performance that, probably not a performance that filled me with any confidence from Blackpool's point of view, but maybe they're solid enough to pick up enough points.
Pre-season, it's safe to say we didn't do well. I had them 5th. Pat, you put them 2nd. Greg had them 5th. Aaron had them 6th. And Nick had them 5th.
Yeah. I mean, it's been one of those seasons, really, hasn't it? Where I think a lot of our prediction-wise, it's going to be worse than what it was last year in terms of how far off the piece. Because I think there's just been a lot of shocks this year, really, haven't there?
Yeah. Sure.
Wimbledon staying up being probably one of the bigger ones. Everyone had them 24th or 23rd, I think, in the predictions.
Pat put them 11th.
Oh, that's just because he wanted to put Luton bottom.
He also put Northampton. He also put Northampton 5th. So,
I'm
not saying that was good.
Ironically, he's really left them all out for us.
Also, I'm a big fan of Pat putting Lincoln 21st.
But yeah, Blackpool are a funny team. It feels like they shouldn't go down, but especially with how they played today, it's god awful.
My assessment of them before today was, I think they're probably safe. I don't see Exeter being good enough to beat the drop, and then they beat Doncaster 3-0 today, whilst Blackpool sort of stumbled to genuinely one of the least impressive performances of any side I've ever seen at Stevenage.
I mean,
and that's impressive because I've seen some fucking honkers.
Yeah. Burton is still not out of it, and arguably Wigan aren't either. But Wigan look like they're on the up now under Caldwell.
Yeah, I mean, Wigan, I think, with that game in hand, it will help.
They've got pretty much the best form of that bottom quarter as well.
I don't think Wigan are worse than Exeter.
No, it will be Exeter, Blackpool, Burton shootout, and I think I said it at the start of the season. Burton always seem to find a way to stay up, so I think this is probably the year that Exeter drop. Is my instinct.
Well, Matt Taylor's come in to right the ship, and he's had since the beginning of March, and he's done bugger all to really fix things. Although today, 3-0 against Doncaster at home, it's a very good result.
They've always been good at home. Exeter.
Try telling Exeter that.
Well, they beat us 3-0 at their place.
Yeah.
I mean, under Caldwell, they had a reasonably good home record. Now I think it fell apart a little bit once he'd left. But yeah, it's a bit like the whole. I can't see Spurs getting relegated because they're Tottenham Hotspur. In a way, I feel very similar about Blackpool in the sense of it's Blackpool. Like I can't see them being in League Two, but there is a very strong chance and potential they could.
I think football fans have a tendency to look at these ex-Premier League clubs, regardless of whether they were there for 10 years or 2 years or 1 year. See these clubs as Luton don't count for sure because they're fucking Luton, but the others, maybe the likes of Bradford and Barnsley. It was so long ago that Nick wasn't even born when they were in the Premier League.
I
think you were. I
don't know if I was.
It was late 90s.
I was 99, so
mid to late 90s when they were last in the Premier League for both of them, I think. But the teams that the Huddersfields, Boltons, Wigans, Readings, they all still feel like they're two recently ex-Premier League sides that you just don't expect them to go down as far as League Two. I mean, I remember Coventry being in League Two, Portsmouth being in League Two, and that being like That's mental.
Mm.
That's mental that these shithouses are dropped this far. I mean, Portsmouth was a different. Well, no, but they were both financial mismanagement, weren't they? That really sent them to the doldrums. Especially Coventry. Fuck, I was going to say Coventry less so, but no, they really got fucked over, didn't they? So
yeah. So
relegated from the Prem in 2000-2001 season, so just about in Nick's lifetime, but not in his living memory.
I was one turning 2 that season.
Oh,
They made the Intertoto Cup semi-final, and Dean Windass top scored for them with 8. That is a tragic season.
But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Like, I think Blackpool in that position of, like you say about their squad, like they've got some good players in that squad. I mean, they've got Horsfall at the back that was probably one of Stockport's best players and was their skipper last year.
But you look at the likes of, like you said earlier, Tottenham. You look at their squad on paper, and it's not a bottom 3 squad, is it?
Not
like,
at all. No,
they're
playing like it.
We like to look at Stevenage and go, we are a sum of more than of our parts. Well, they are definitely, there is some
the opposite.
There are some real shits not pulling their fucking weight.
Yeah,
because they are definitely lesser than the sum of their parts.
Yeah, but no, like you say, I think we were definitely worthy of the win.
It wasn't pretty in the first half, was it?
No, it was a bit of an up and down game. Like, we played really awfully for 10 minutes, then we'd play a passage of play like prime Barcelona down the left-hand side.
Just going to bring you onto that.
And it's like, we've literally just misplaced the 2-yard pass, and then we're playing bounce passes 1-2 and getting in behind. It's like, what's going on?
I think every game there's a little moment where we just play. There's just a little pass move that just takes us from defense to attack so rapidly and so beautifully that by the time it gets as far as like Jamie Reid, he's like, "What the fuck has just happened?"
But there was one time that he drove with the ball after he'd won it, and he had that shot.
Yeah,
that just got tipped around the bar, and it's like around the post, and it's those things where, like, you see, if we have that kind of effectiveness to us, that we can have chances. And then the second time we did it, we took ages to actually get the ball into a position that we could make a chance out of, and then Philip skied it over the bar from about 6 yards out. But it's those moments where you go, okay, there is quality in this side, which is why people get so frustrated when we show such a lack of quality for long periods of games, because it's there. I thought Harvey White is probably one of the best players, if not the best player on the pitch today, with how well he got into those spaces and played those quick passes to get us into those areas.
He got the who scored man of the match.
I mean, him and Roberts down that left-hand side, I thought were fantastic all game. Not just for the way they went forward, but Roberts defensively was immense. It definitely helped Freestone out a fair amount. I mean, that left-hand side is probably one of my favourite left-hand sides in the game for a long time.
How are we feeling about Roberts? Sorry, Pat, go on.
No, I was going to say, I think that was a good sum of the first half. There was like 2 attempts on target, and they were both from defenders at their own goals, Freestone, and I didn't catch who the Blackpool defender who headed on target was until Pattenden had his chance at the back post close to the end of the half, and they somehow scrambled it off the line. And the thing that summed up the first half the most for me was their left back reversing into Charlie Good and then falling over and somehow getting a free kick for it. It's like, this is scrappy, messy nonsense.
Yeah. And yet we still probably should have scored 2 goals in that first half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got that moment where Phillips skies it, although Pat, I think you said that the offside flag was up, didn't you?
I think so, yeah. I think so, because it just kind of bundled on through to him and he somehow put it at like an 80-degree angle over the bar from 4 yards out. But I think the flag had already gone up for it.
Yeah, I mean, Reid had that shot off of the back of a prime Barcelona move that got tipped around the post. Obviously, there's the Pattenden chance where really we had 2 chances in that short succession to put the ball away. And I think Farrell makes a really good save. He might have even made a double save. And there's probably a couple from even some set pieces that we probably could have done better with. So going in 0-0 at half time, you probably felt a little bit like we'd missed the opportunity to go ahead. And you just hope that we'd come out for the second half with a little bit more of the same and a little bit less of some of the poor quality that we saw at spells, especially at the back where we were asking Pidge, Good, and Freestone to play a lot with the ball at their feet, and
especially Good.
Yeah, and that felt like it was gonna.
He was doing more of the quarterback work than Harvey White.
Yeah, and I thought that was potentially going to be a challenge for us if we kept doing that, especially when you got Ennis and Fletcher, who are very quick on their toes and could easily get away if they had a break. So, but I like how we clearly looked at dropping the line, trying to get the ball up the pitch a lot quicker, with the use of Harvey making runs into gaps and looking for those passes in behind. So from that point forwards, I don't think they looked like they were ever going to score in the second half, Blackpool.
Yeah, no shots on target tells its own story. You asked about Roberts down the left. I think it's working well. It would work even better if more players could spot him and get the ball to him, because he had shed loads of space and players were not getting their heads up and getting the ball to him quickly enough, with the exception of Phillips, who managed to once. Dan Phillips, I should say. He's a very dangerous player if you can get the ball in those positions with that much space. So we've got to get it to him.
I think it's another example of just how good Jordan Roberts is for us. I think that, and how underrated he is as a player in our squad. That he started off through the middle for us and looked unbelievable in the League Two season. Moved out wide and again still looked reasonably good, like pretty good, creating chances, driving at defenders. And actually, the conversation was a lot that you'd rather have him out there than Kemp. And you see he kind of get sacrificed through the middle. Then he's being pushed to left wing back and he's still doing a job. And the versatility that he brings with the experience that he brings alongside that and the quality. I mean, there was one time today, I think he got the ball out wide and he's played a cutting ball through the middle of the park into, I don't know if it was Kemp or Reed that ended up getting it to spin out, but it completely cut through the Blackpool defensive midfield with one pass.
Yeah,
and he meant it as well. It wasn't one of those ones that Dan Phillips did, where he kind of just hacks at it and it ends up at the feet of one of our players in the middle of the park. It was a genuine, like he got his head up, saw it, and he played it. And I think when Roberts eventually leaves, whether it's the end of this season or whether it's the end of the season after, I think we will realise just how important he was.
Steve will be paying money for him this summer, won't he?
Maybe, but I think when he's not there, you'll realise just how much we miss him.
Is it a bit of a masterstroke from Revs to deploy him there? Because I think one of the things that we've sort of struggled with Roberts at times is if he's off it, he's not the most sort of defensively helpful player anyway. But like when he's off it, he's just sort of a passenger. But having him out wide when he's quiet with the back three as it is, with Freestone on that side, it hasn't come back to haunt us yet. It hasn't mattered, has it? Because there were patches,
mostly back for today. Like they didn't really challenge us.
Yeah.
Roberts was back for once or twice. He was needed to be back, but he wasn't playing wing back really.
I think it's a very smart way to deploy a player when we're clearly very short in that position, with Saxon being out, Butler being out, and not really wanting to play a traditional four where you're in that bank of four, but being able to play in a way that allows you to essentially, when you get the ball and you want to get it wide, you tell Roberts to go and you create that four system. I mean, how many times have we spoken about systems this year? And I think it's probably the first time that you can really visibly see how we're not playing with one set system in and out possession. We are switching and we're using the players to their best ability, not trying to just fit square pegs into round holes as such. So I think that is a big development from Revs to be able to identify that we have a gap there defensively, but that doesn't mean you can't still deploy a similar system and just give players slightly different instructions that suit them better. And with Phoenix back on the bench today, you can see how that would equally work if you need to put Phoenix in that position. And I can't remember what the home game was a few weeks back that Phoenix played there, but I thought he was fantastic when I think he played 75 minutes before he came off in that game. And it was a very similar role for Phoenix in that game as well, where it was We want you to get up the pitch. We want you to stay up high in the pitch, but you will still also need to come back and do defensive duties every now and then. And Freestone is such a good one-on-one defender that he does well with holding players up to allow you to kind of get reinforcements back in and defend. So it's probably the first time we've seen Ravel make a slight tweak to a system to suit players rather than making a whole system change to suit the way he wants to play.
I think I would play, regardless of injuries. I think I would continue Jordan Roberts there. I think he adds so much across the board in that position, and we are better with him in the squad, full stop, than not. That I think I would sacrifice Saxonelli and Dan Butler in order to play him there.
I think it really depends on who you're playing.
Yeah,
because I can think of teams this year that we've played where you've really needed a defensive wide player that is a Lewis Freestone, especially up against quick wingers. So for sure, I think if especially at home games, I think is a bit of a no-brainer if we're going to deploy that kind of system to have one of your wing backs being that more attacking profile. And I mean, we've spoken about Pattenden briefly around how well he did today. It was I think it was perfect having Pattenden and Roberts as the balance on either side, because both do want to get forward, but both also acknowledge their defensive duties while doing that. And you could see how if one pushed really high, one did try and sit back a little bit more to enable us to have that shift into a 4 when we needed to. But they both got high up the pitch, especially when we got into possession, and that caused Blackpool problems with how they were set up because we were able to overload in those wide areas outside the box. But away at Bradford, for example, which is going to be a really gritty game, you might be better off having Roberts in the middle of the park where Kemp currently has been playing, because he's a lot more physical and he will get into the midfield battle a lot more if you've got someone like Saxon available to play off the left. But having that ability to switch and move players around, tweak with a system is what we've probably been lacking for the last couple of seasons, really.
Yeah. We've got a little poll going at the moment. Who would you go with that left wing back moving forward, assuming no one's injured? Saxonelli and Jordan Roberts are 50-50 at the moment. No one's voted for Phoenix.
We've barely seen him. But it's good to have him there as a backup. Like, there was a moment towards the end of the game where Roberts was stretching his calves out, and I was like, look, if he has to come off here, we've got Phoenix as a backup, so it's not an absolute death knell, which is important at this stage in the season.
I'm very interested to see what we do next year. Very interested, because I think the 3 at the back has definitely been one just to see us through this year. It's not one that we'll intend to take forward, because you've got Chem, you've got Phoenix, who we've signed on, I assume, to be reasonably long deals, 2-3 year deals in the summer, with the intention of playing with wingers, playing with a back 4. But they're not really going to get a huge amount of minutes. I mean, Chem's out injured at the moment, but even when he comes back, if he comes back before the end of the season, they're not going to get a huge amount of minutes in this system. And so hopefully we have an idea of what we're intending to do next year. But when you finish a season so strongly with one system, do you want to have to then change it all again for pre-season preparations, or do you try and keep going with similar? It'd be interesting to see how Ravel takes it.
Are either of you surprised with Dan Phillips and Harvey White keeping Houghton and Thompson largely out of the side?
Not the way they played today. Certainly, Dan Phillips had one of his better games. I think he was a good contender for man of the match. He probably got it tipped on my scales. I was kind of expecting it to go to White because he scored, and that seems to be how it goes. But yeah, Houghton seems to have dropped off out of favour a little bit. And when he comes on for his cameos, it's not quite the controlling influence that we saw in the early parts of the season.
I think
Louis Thompson's back in his career, and he's doing what you'd expect of Louis Thompson. He's a valuable piece.
Yeah, I think with Houghton, it's very difficult for just the way his game is. It's very difficult for him to have the sort of cameo that would make the manager think, "I'll start him next game," because that's just he's one of those players that his game is kind of under the radar, isn't it? It's not flash. It's very business. He gets on with it. Doesn't do anything flashy.
You want him operating as a kind of Bostwick style box-to-box
Yeah.
enforcer. And he's quieter than that, I think. And sometimes that's enough, but sometimes not.
Yeah. Someone in the comments, Charles Marion, says that he doesn't think that Houghton fits the system with the back three. He's good protecting a back four, but with the back three, he's kind of redundant, which is a good point, and it sort of fits. It sort of just fits the way that works, doesn't it? Is that you have that extra protection with the extra man and the extra body in the middle, and you kind of don't need Houghton, which is convenient because he's the one that's missing out because we're using those other profile midfielders as that sort of. I hate this phrase, but I'm going to use it. That double pivot.
Yeah. You guys know, and those that have listened from the start of the season know how much I rate Houghton as a midfielder. But I think that's bang on, really, in the sense that it's similar when I see him warming up in games like today when it's 0-0. And actually, I'm looking at going, you don't want Houghton on the pitch, not because he's not good at football, but he's just not the profile to win you a game.
Yeah.
He is that player that does sit at the base of midfield, win the ball back and pass it on to someone like Harvey, and that's why we saw him and Harvey have such a good partnership at the start of the season, and why Harvey was getting so many numbers on the board was because he had that freedom. And now with that system, when you've got the three at the back, you don't need that extra layer of protection. You've got a centre back right through the middle that can do that work of stepping in, winning the ball, and playing it on. And so you generally are looking at someone like Louis Thompson or Dan Phillips who does that box to box work to sit alongside someone like Harvey, who dictates play, who looks for pockets to pick up the ball and play on, and ultimately take our set pieces, which is such a big part of our game. Like, you are going to miss out on players like Houghton getting minutes. And again, another player that I'm sure at the start of the season was expected to be a regular starter throughout the year is being sacrificed a little bit because of how the system's been working.
Mm-hmm. It's the way it goes, isn't it? It's not very dissimilar. I mean, it's dissimilar because it's not necessarily injury based, but it's not too dissimilar from Tay missing out because he had an injury early last season, and we brought in Murphy Cooper to fill that hole, and he did so fucking well that it was like, well, sorry, Tay. Sucks to be you, but it is what it is.
And there's a reason Dan Phillips got loads of interest in January. So it's not when you've got players like Houghton, I think, have made the drop down because the Championship isn't probably at their level anymore, and you've then got players like Dan Phillips who the Championship size are the ones that are looking at him. You can see where that golfing quality is slightly pipped above the rest.
If you guys want a quick laugh, I've just seen that Ian Everett said that he's disappointed that they resorted to our style of football today. Like, you've not really done your fucking preparation very well there, have you, Ian? You fucking dildo.
I thought we played some fantastic football at times today, so I'm not really sure what style he's referring to there.
No, it's just the typical Stevenage one side, isn't it?
Was he not also the one that complained that our pitch was too hard and that our ball boys were too slow?
Yeah, there was definitely the complaint that the pitch was too bouncy. Fucking what a weapon! I've changed my mind on Ian Everett. He's a wanker.
He always was.
The majority of the game moaning about something, moaning to the fourth official, blaming at his own players. It was all very negative, the body language. Which,
shall we?
When you're 20th, is perhaps not a surprise.
Shall we? Should we do a quiz?
Sure.
Oh,
why not?
Patrick,
right. I had this idea on the way home. Yeah, I had this idea on the way home because Stevenage are becoming 1-0 merchants. So I have catalogued every Football League 1-0 that Stevenage have had since they joined the Football League. So not including this season, every completed season.
We're going to be here all night.
So we're going to do a penalty shootout style game.
Oh, no.
You give me a team and a season, and if we beat them 1-0 in that season, you get your point. If we didn't, you don't. If we happen to beat the team 1-0 twice, which has happened 4 times, you'll get 3 points. So
any team like in the Football League pyramid.
you've got to give me a season and a team, and if we beat the team 1-0 during that season, you get your point. Do you want to give us the first one, Nick?
Not really. Oh God. Let's go for Crawley Town.
Crawley Town.
22-23.
Crawley Town 22-23 is incorrect for 0 points. Nate.
I've got the same season in mind because there were a few of those. One that stands out to me was early in the season. I think it was Rochdale. So 22-23, Rochdale. 1-0.
Rochdale is correct. First one on the board.
I don't remember results like this. The 1-0s are the ones you never remember.
I only remember 1-0s. I am worried that I'm going to think we won. I'm worried that I'm going to think we won a game 1-0 instead of lost a game 1-0, and I'm going to say the wrong.
Oh, who have we played? I've got to not only remember who we've played, what season we played them in, and whether we could have scraped a 1-0 win against them.
It's the season, I think, that makes it difficult, yeah.
We must have Burton Albion. There must be a 1-0 somewhere in our history. I've just got to choose the right year. 2018-19.
I'm afraid that keeps you on no points.
The season is disgusting, by the way.
Good. I don't like to make things easy for you.
Same season. We closed the season, so 22-23, with a 1-0 win away at Barrow.
Oh,
We did. That is 2 point to Nate.
The only Barrow result I'll ever remember is that 0-0 where we kicked off half an hour late. I didn't go to it, but I know many people that went to it and had the worst day ever because the wind and the rain was horrendous. It was half hour late.
It is a dreadful ground to watch football
at. Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
Pressure on Nick.
Shrewsbury Town.
Shrewsbury.
We are in the 25-26. So let's go for the 24-25.
In 24-25, we beat Shrewsbury Town 1-0 home and away. So Nick takes the lead, leaping up to 3 points.
Oh, come on.
Nate, to tie it up.
This is going to be a shithouse win.
I'm going 22-23 again.
Yep.
Swindon.
Ooh.
Swindon, correct. Bloody hell. Have you memorised that season? Incredible. 3-3 after 3 penalties. Nick.
Get it up, you bitch.
Woo, spicy.
I'm so desperate to win this one. We haven't had a quiz for a while, and I haven't won one for ages. So
this is incredibly random, but I'm trying to think. Were they in our league at the time? I feel like a 1-0 versus Crewe Alexandra sounds like plausible, but I've got to try and remember what year we played them in. I think were they part of that year? Oh, yeah, I'm going to go really far back because I remember I went to Crewe away once. And I think it was like a 18-19. So I'm going to go 16-17 Crewe Alexandra.
I'm afraid that is incorrect.
Now, 22-23. Nick, I think we beat Crewe 1-0 that season.
I couldn't remember if they were in our league that year, which is the problem.
Well, I think it was at home on a Tuesday night.
Nate.
That was my
You are
first season.
correct.
Oh, I've got one.
That was my first. That was my first season doing the Opta stuff. So a lot of these results are proper embedded.
It's
in.
okay. I've got one now because
Go ahead.
I was at the game. It's Cambridge United of 24-25 when Jamie Reid stuck it top bins from out wide.
That is correct. After 9 penalties, we are 4 apiece. Nate, can you win it with your 5th?
So I've been holding on to this one because in 22-23, I think there's a
single one.
I think there's a
Give it a
team
cap.
I think there's a team we beat 1-0 twice. I think there's one. And I think it's Doncaster.
It is Doncaster. Nate
Oh.
has scored 7 out of 5, which is just ridiculous. Fair play. I can't believe no one guessed something. Oh, they did. Nick did. Oh, take that back. The other teams we've beaten twice, 1-0 home and away, were Wickham 23-24 and Cambridge 2021.
Ah,
So there you go.
it was only because Nate mentioned Tuesday night game that I went, oh my God, I was literally at one last year.
Yeah.
Where we won 1-0.
The teams you've beaten most 1-0 are Shrewsbury, Cambridge, and Wickham, which surprised me 4 times each.
I also remember that both Doncaster games were on Tuesday nights.
Amazing.
There we go.
It wasn't too bad. I mean, I wish we could have gone for some that were maybe early in 22-23 and got them right, but just pull out a 13-14.
The first one was
would have been
Port
fun.
Vale in 2010.
How did we not get that?
I think there were more from 22-23.
There'll be loads.
Newport County, I think, at home was 1-0.
Correct.
Hartlepool
10 in 22-23. Hartlepool, correct.
Gillingham.
Yep.
Who else have we
I
played?
think that's
Is
all.
there an Orient?
I think that's all. I think that's all of them that season. I think Orient was
it 3?
Was it 0-0 away and 3-0 at home? 0-0 on Boxing Day.
There is one for Orient, and that was 2012-2013.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we drew 0-0 at their place, and they were all like, "Wankers trying to come at us at top of the table." And at the end of January, we pumped them, didn't we? I am mighty proud of that. What a useless bank of knowledge that is.
On the topic of 1-0 wins, I've just noticed
Chud's 18.
Well, yeah,
18 this season.
I've also just seen Chud's respond to a message on
sorry.
Twitter about teams who have scored the least and managed to make the playoffs. And going back 25 years to the 2000-2001 season, the lowest is Wigan with 53 goals, followed by both Bradford in 15-16 and Yeovil in 06-07 on 55.
Well,
we have 42 with 6 games left.
6 to play, yeah.
So we could genuinely
get up to about 45.
We're not going to break 50.
We could make history as the lowest scoring side to make the playoffs. And probably with 1-0 wins for the rest of the season.
I mean, yeah, just 6. I mean, we won't beat Lincoln considering they're going to win the title at our gaff. So let's knock that on the head.
You never know.
45 goals. We're going to have 5 1-0 wins. Mate, you fucking take it.
47 then.
You'd fucking take it because you'd fly.
It'd be amazing. And then we just shithouse through the playoffs with a 0-0 in one leg, 1-0 in the other, and then a 0-0 in the final.
Like Sheffield United did to us. Exactly.
Yeah. Sorted.
Oh, imagine like a 89th minute winner at the tough shit stadium.
Bez Labala. Come on.
Oh my god. I mean, I would turn off if he came on in the playoff semi-final with it 0-0 over on aggregate.
I'd be there, but if I was at home, I'd turn the volume up.
I am getting the closer it gets to the playoffs, and the longer we're still in it, the more annoyed I am that I'm in Italy on playoff final day.
Oh, devastating.
Flying to Italy while the game is happening, so I can't even watch it.
So you're going to land.
I missed our first playoff final at a wedding.
Find out the result, yeah.
So I don't want to do it again.
I can't remember why I couldn't go to the first playoff final we were in. I couldn't go for whatever reason, and yeah, that was depressing. That was a 1-0 win as well. Would that have counted, Pat? Or was it just a season?
Oh, now that's a question. I only included normal season fixtures.
Okay.
I didn't include playoffs.
I told someone off for referring to the season as the regular season earlier. I'm like, sorry, this is an American sport.
I held it off for fear of getting that sort of response.
Excellent. Right, okay, let's have a look around the league. The table. Port Vale are bottom. Northampton, Rotherham are also gone. Probably.
Northampton have lost 6 games in a row.
Amazing.
Yeah, Northampton are fucking toilet.
Evidently, sacking Nolan really worked, didn't it?
Yeah. Exeter, albeit with a 3-0 win today, are 2 points off Blackpool now, both on 42 games played. Burton are also on 48 points with Blackpool. Then you've got Wigan on 49 points, Doncaster on 50, AFC Wimbledon on 50, and Orient on 50. You've got Barnsley on 51, Peterborough on 51, you've got Mansfield on 53, Wickham on 59, Luton on 61, Huddersfield on 61, Reading on 62, Plymouth on 62, and Stevenage on 64. Obviously, we occupy that final playoff spot at the moment. You've got Stockport on 67 points. Just to throw it in there, we've got 1 point. We've got 1 game in hand over most of the playoff chasing teams. 2 in hand over Reading, but Stockport also are on 40 played, so we're level with them. So they're just 3 points better off at the moment.
Done the double over them though, so
yeah. Bolton are on 70 points. Bradford are on 71 points. So you would probably look at those two as being more than likely safe in the playoffs at this point.
Yep.
Cardiff safely in the autos. Bradford are 7 points back. Cardiff have a game in hand. Lincoln confirmed promotion today with a 2-1 win away at Reading. They were leading 1-0 for ages. Lewis Wing scored in like the 91st minute. And then Lincoln went up the other end and nicked a winner very, very, very late there. They're on 90 points from 41 played. Yeah, they could win the league the way.
I think they'll win the league like hands down in the way they're playing. I mean
they're 12 points clear. They've won it.
Games to go, yeah.
I mean it's when teams go away to like Reading, who are pushing for playoffs. You've just conceded in added time and they didn't even need to win it to get promoted. So they needed the point. So they were still promoted even with the draw, and yet they've gone and got a winner off the back of it anyway. I mean, that kind of mentality to go and win those kind of games is what champions do, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that Michael Scabala's done a fucking insane job at Lincoln, but we focus on the manager when we talk about these things, but the whole setup they've got going on there they do have a very good set of players. Their recruitment over the last sort of 4 or 5 years has been insane, frankly. But if you look at the job the whole club has done in the past couple of years, it's just whatever it is they're doing is fucking working, and they're just unbelievable. The budget that they are doing this on is
yeah. I mean, their 2 standout players this year, Moylan and McGrandles, have both been there for the last 2-3 years. So it's not like they've just gone and bought quality in the summer and that's helped them over the line. They've generally gone and got talent from elsewhere. I mean, I've just looking. Moylan came from the Irish leagues a few seasons back, and they've developed him. McGrandles, albeit now 30, but spent some time at Charlton and Cambridge and that before joining Lincoln. And has been there for a few years. And then players like Rob Street, Freddie Draper, they got in, and I think they were there at least last season, if not the season before. They've just created a group good players that complement each other.
George
The
Wickens
players-
is very good in goal.
Yeah, there's just some really
Um,
good players
yeah.
that they've just fit together into the perfect formula to win
Mhm.
games. And they're not the prettiest team. They're very much like how
Yeah.
we played the season we went up in 22-23 to a certain extent, albeit I think they do have a little bit more quality about them.
Yes.
But they're by no means a team that play football like Cardiff or Bolton. They don't play that kind of football, but they know how to win games the way that works for them. And evidently, they've done it very well this year.
Yeah, no, they deserve everything they're getting. They've been comfortably the best side in the league this year. I think Cardiff, considering the budget they have versus the budget Lincoln have, and you would look on paper and be like, they should be the strongest team on paper. I think they're
There's teams mid-table that on paper you would have said should have been the strongest teams this year, and Lincoln have blown them out of the water.
Lincoln finished 11th last season, and I would have been surprised. I think I had them 11th again this season.
I think most people would have had them mid-table, if not bottom half.
Yeah,
because they didn't add a huge amount in the summer. It was actually in the January when they went and got James Collins that they started scoring goals, and you felt that's what they were missing last year, and they went and replaced it. But he's 35.
I mean, but if you remember back last season, they came to us in late September, early October, and they beat us 2-0. And I don't think I've ever seen, other than maybe when Bristol Rovers came to us and did us 4-0. Just
was that when Collins was up front for them?
Collins was up front, and Elliot Anderson, just ripped us to shreds over and over again. Like 3 of their goals just down that left side, cross it in, nod it in. Absolutely ruined us. Lincoln are the best team I've seen brought away for years. They were phenomenal last season, but their whole season wasn't amazing. This season. Weirdly, when we went to them last season, they were ordinary. I was
gonna say when we went to their place, it was the one where Tyrese
should have won that 1-0. Really,
Tyrese had that chance on the 6-yard box, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the most horrendous games of football that I'd watched.
Dreadful.
But yeah,
the only reason I've got fond memories of that is because we went to Hickory's on the way up and had a great barbecue breakfast.
Silver linings and all that.
Absolutely.
But no. I'm very interested to see how they get on in the championship next year. Very interested.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because they're sort of, their budget won't be too dissimilar to ours. Bigger, but not too dissimilar.
Yeah.
So looking at how they apply that next season will be very interesting.
You talk about the gulf of budgets when you enter the championship. I mean, Wallace mentioned it at the forum the other night. Like, it's ridiculous how much the jump really is. You're talking you're talking about a budget of about $1 million for us, and suddenly becoming 12 million average when you hit the championship. So, yeah, but we've seen teams like Wickham, Oxford, even Yeovil make it into the championship and go, look, we're not gonna.
Do not use Yeovil as an excuse. As an example, they plummeted immediately.
But I use it as an example of people who go up and acknowledge that they can't compete with a massive budget like your West Broms, and they try to, but some do it the wrong way. I think Yeovil was an example of doing it the wrong way, where they try to pump too much money in. But then you've got other teams like Wickham that I think actually settled for the fact that they weren't going to be able to compete financially to the same extent, and they did fairly well considering before coming back down again. But yeah, I mean, again, Wallace mentioned it at the forum that we would never be able to compete on the same level in the championship for 3, 4, 5 years on the trot. Like, you'd be lucky to get a season out of it and a second one. So that's how big the jump is. And when you've got teams like Lincoln pushing into there, it's always interesting to see how they take on that challenge. And us, when we inevitably play Bradford in the playoff final, and it's between the two of us getting to the championship.
God, I hope it's that, and I'll be so miserable.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it, though? Could you imagine a Bradford Stevenage playoff finals getting to the championship? How many people would be rattled by that?
Oh, I mean,
So many.
every single Stockport and Bradford and
Oh, it'd be
Huddersfield and Reading
fantastic.
and Luton and every fan that isn't of Stevenage and Bradford will be like, surely we could have found 2 better sides.
Oh,
Fuck! It has to be now, doesn't it? Of all the chases, it has to be Stevenage, Bradford, just to wind people up as much as humanly possible. Yeah. Right, Saturday the 11th of April, 3:00 kickoff at the University of Bradford Stadium, because that's a great name. Bradford City versus Stevenage. Form-wise, Bradford won 2-1 away at Wickham today. They won 1-0 on the home against Northampton. They lost to Burton Albion away. They drew with Mansfield at home. They lost to Wigan away. Obviously, with us, you got the 1-0 win against Blackpool, the 0-0 with Rotherham, 1-0 against Reading, losing 1-0 away at Argyle, and beating AFC Wimbledon 1-0 at home. Head-to-head, 1-1 earlier in the season. Before that, we had a 3-2 away loss, a 3-0 away loss. Sorry, a 2-3 home loss, a 3-0 away loss, a 1-0 away loss. Home loss is all right. We don't have a great record against Bradford at all. Our last win against them was the 1st of March 2014.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, isn't it? I mean,
I hate playing Bradford.
You take a point right now because looking at their home form, 15 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses, scored 30. They are a great side at home. If we can go there, get a clean sheet and get a point, absolutely have your arm off for it.
It's another playoff chaser that we, as long as we don't lose ground to, I think we can come away from that. Even if the performance is shit, we can come away from it satisfied.
With even Doncaster, I mean, I look at our away games. What is it? Bradford, Bolton, Doncaster.
Stop it! No, you did not say we take a point at Doncaster.
I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm saying is, like, of our away fixtures, Bradford, Bolton are 2 difficult away fixtures. Yes. Doncaster, you probably look at and go, we should win there, but we also were saying about Rotherham on Friday. Mm-hmm. And I look at it and I go, our away games this year have never. I think we still only 1 win in 8 or 9 or something on the road.
Stockport.
Yeah, and I look at it and I go,
Peterborough. Those are 2 wins on the road.
And so I look at it, I go, look, points we pick up on the road are bonuses. Win our home games, and I feel like we're fairly comfortable with making that last playoff spot ours. But having said that, you've got to pick up the points at places like Bradford and Bolton to put yourself in that position. So, I definitely take a point.
Actually, we have got more away wins than I thought. Blackpool, obviously, first day of the season. Port Vale, Orient.
Yeah, but talk about this half of the season, not the start of
Peterborough, Stockport, Burton. Burton was recent. But our away form's not stellar. Before we won at Burton, it was 6 away losses in a row.
Is it 3 home, 3 away?
How many points do you reckon you need for 6th?
Sorry?
How many points do you reckon you need for 6th come the end of the season? What do the algorithms say?
Hang on.
I was going to say the algorithm. The average, I looked at this over the last few years the other day. The average was anything from 75 up was 6th place. And there was some that was 80s. So definitely going to be quite a low tally, I think.
71 or 72 points will do it this season.
Yeah, so it's going to be lower than we've seen.
My prediction model thing has us making it with 72 points. Yeah. So that sees Lincoln finishing on 97 points, Cardiff on 89, Bolton on 79. Cardiff, that was actually wrong. It's 88. The model didn't do maths very well, which is concerning when it's a mathematical model. What that actually means is that the average points over 20,000 simulations was 88.5, and it rounded it up instead of rounding it down. I'll allow it.
So basically, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses might do it. 3 wins should do it. 2 wins, 3 draws should do it.
So I think 12 points, and we'll be in for sure.
I look at that and go 3 points in the 3 home games. That's your 9. 3 points on the road. Point.
Nine. What are we on? 64 now.
Yep.
9 might do it. 9 should do it.
I think that's
12
where the
will do
importance
it.
is. Our home games. I think like you win your home games and you put yourself in prime position, and anything else on the road is a bonus. And that includes Doncaster, to be quite honest, because a point's a point if it means that you're a point ahead of the ones behind you.
So, Pat and Nick, Bradford, give me a score. Give me a
0-0.
result, not a score. Just a result.
Draw.
Loss.
Bolton.
Loss.
Is that away or home?
Away.
Let's go loss again then.
Okay, so from the next 2 games, we've got 1 point from Nick and none from Pat. Lincoln at home.
I think it's a draw.
I think it's a draw.
Deal. Draw.
Okay, so Nick's saying 3 out of that 9 points available. We've got 2 points from Nick and 1 from Pat. But then Barnsley at home, Tuesday the 21st of April.
Win.
Yep.
Doncaster away.
Win.
Win.
They'll be on the beach.
And Wigan at home, final game of the season.
Win.
Yep. They'll probably be safe.
Okay, so we're looking at. I think Pat, you've just given us 3 wins and 1 draw, so 10 points. Nick, you've given us 12 points.
Yeah.
I think it's enough. I think it's
And
enough.
I think you can afford to.
I
Then
worry
drop
about
points.
Plymouth's run-in.
Yeah, I mean
Plymouth's dropping
that's
because
I
it's
think the
very-
one team to worry about in terms of the run. I don't think Reading have enough in them to see it through. I don't think Luton are going to be creeping up behind her at any time soon.
Luton have only got 4. Reading have only got 4 points to play, and they're 2 points back on us.
Yeah,
I think they're done. They've only got 12 available.
I
And
can't. Huddersfield
Don't
are on
think they
a
hit 12.
Huddersfield. I've only just got a win against Orient today, but they went on a run of not winning in 4 before that. They've still got to play Cardiff, Bolton. So I don't think they can win those 2 games.
Reading have Doncaster away, Cardiff at home, Rotherham away, and Blackpool at home.
But Plymouth, you've seen Plymouth's. They got Exeter next. They've still got to play Wimbledon, Port Vale, and Northampton. So you'd expect them to win all 4 of those.
Yeah,
games
but
and
this
then
league's
Bradford
stupid.
away.
There's a random draw or 2 sitting in that lot. Port Vale are looking feisty at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me if they picked up points against 1 or 2 teams you don't expect them to. Northampton, I think, are toast.
Yeah, I mean, by that point, I think they're already down. By the point, I think they've got them on the last day. They're down at that point. If Port Vale were down the game before that, they'll already be mathematically down. So they're fighting for pride at that point, if anything.
And we all know they ain't got that.
So yeah, Plymouth are the ones I worry about more than anything.
If we just look at the form table over the past 10 games, Lincoln are top, Plymouth are second, and Stevenage are third, 19 points.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about anyone other than us. We are 6th with games in hand, 2 points clear of them. Just do your job. Doesn't matter what they do.
We are in prime position.
We have to maximize the points. I think that starts with we have to take points. I think we can only afford 1 loss in this run because I think there are a couple of draws. I think we can't afford to lose at Bradford. We can afford. I think even though Bradford are above Bolton, I think Bolton are still the better side than Bradford.
Yeah, agreed.
So
especially at their place.
So I think we can probably afford to lose against Bolton more than we can afford to lose against Bradford. Bradford are the team that I don't think we can afford to lose against. Bolton, you allow it. Doncaster, a point will be disappointing.
Yeah, but it's like what you said for the Rotherham game. You hope for more, you expect a little bit less, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's Doncaster way.
After not winning at Rotherham, Doncaster is now no longer a point is acceptable. If you took 6 points this weekend, you could afford to drop 2 at Doncaster. We can't afford to drop 2 at Doncaster anymore. We just can't.
You'd like to think they'd be in a position they're safe. They're not worried about relegation. We're pushing for playoffs. That's a little bit more motivation to get.
I mean, do you remember that? I know it was a 0-0 draw at home or a 1-1 draw with Doncaster at home.
0-0, I think. It was drab as hell.
It was fucking abysmal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Such dross. So you'd hope that the game is
in
more,
November. Yeah,
you'd hope that. I mean, they're basically the same side that we played then, whereas we are at least a little bit more on the front foot now than we were then.
For sure, but yeah. Hey ho.
Anyway, right, fucking, I've had enough. My throat's going. If you couldn't tell.
15 minutes of the Football League show starts as well, so it's a good time to wrap it up.
Well,
we should shout out Frank Norris for signing his first pro deal before we wrap it totally.
We should also shout out the ladies for winning the league.
Yes.
Yep. Elite things have happened there. Fucking made up for them. I'm well disappointed I've moved halfway across the country and haven't been able to go and see them all.
League Cup final next Sunday, I think. So get yourself down to the county ground and watch that.
Yeah, the county ground in Letchworth. Go and watch the women hopefully lift some silverware. Also, if you haven't watched it, go get yourself on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere and watch Thierry Small score a calamitous own goal for Preston today. Magnificent. It's one of those where the ball's come in. He's tried to hit it that way and he sliced it that way and it's gone in.
It'll be on ITV4 at some point in the next hour and a quarter as well if you're looking.
Yeah.
At the beginning as well, if it's championship. They get the whole first hour.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy, hopefully, Bradford on Saturday and up the barrier.
Woo!
There it is.
Mm-hmm.